Well, good afternoon. I promised you I would read some more from our informative book, which is called an expository text. Hopefully your kids will enjoy this, learning more about nocturnal animals. This is again entitled, How Do Bats See in the Dark? And questions and answers about other night creatures, nocturnal animals. It was written by Melvin and Gilda Berger and illustrated by Jim Effler. We already read about bats, so today we're going to be reading about the great horned owl and some other nocturnal creatures. How do owls hunt? Here we have our great horned owl. My son and daughter-in-law in Houston actually have an owl living in their backyard, way up in one of their trees. How do owls hunt? They look and listen for prey in the dark. When an owl picks up a sound or smell, it silently swoops down towards its target. The owl's soft, fluffy-edged feathers muffle the sound of its wings. With sharp, hooked claws extended, the owl pounces on the victim and carries it away. Large owls nab rabbits, squirrels, and skunks. Smaller owls go after insects, mice, and other small animals. Do owls chew their food? No. Owls swallow small prey whole, but they rip larger prey into pieces before swallowing. Later, the owls cough up pellets of bone, fur, and feathers that they can't digest. You may find pellets on the ground under an owl's nest or perch. A pile of pellets found recently contained the remains of 2,000 mice, 210 rats, 92 blackbirds, and 4 frogs. Where do owls sleep? In thick plants and bushes, hollow trees, caves, or old buildings. The owl's dull color and spotted feathers hide them from their enemies. Despite their name, barn owls also sleep in hollow trees or the rafters of abandoned buildings. Do all owls hoot? No, the only real hooter is the great horned owl. Other kinds of owls make different noises, from the barred owl's loud barks to the long-eared owl's whining, cat-like cry, to the barn owl's strange-sounding hiss. In the country, you may hear a shrill, whistly sound running up and down the scale. Some superstitious people don't like this sound. They believe it signals a person's death. But you'll know it's only the cry of the screech owl in the dark. What bird cries its name all night long? Well, that would be the male whippoorwill. While perched in a tree, the ghostly night flyer sings out its name, whippoorwill, about 16,000 times between sunset and sunrise. Curiously enough, whippoorwills only call when they are on a perch. They are silent when they fly. People trying to fall asleep at night may get annoyed at the whippoorwill's cries, but farmers never complain. They're happy to have birds catching the insects that eat their growing crops. People often call whippoorwills nightjars or goat suckers. The name nightjar is for the loud repeating calls that jar people awake. And goatsucker comes from the old and incorrect belief that these night birds suck milk from female goats. How do whippoorwills catch insects? By flying with their mouths wide open. Also, around their mouths, the whippoorwills have long, curved facial whiskers that help them scoop up bugs in the air. And if you look closely, you can see those whiskers. Where are whippoorwills during the day? Well, they're usually hiding on the forest floor. The whippoorwill's spotted brown feathers blend in with the leaves on the ground. Their excellent camouflage lets them rest safely on the ground from dawn to dusk without being seen. Which night bird can't fly? Well, that would be the kiwi of New Zealand. This bird has useless wings. It has neither good hearing nor good sight to help it hunt. But nostrils at the tip of a very long, flexible beak give the kiwi the best sense of smell of all birds. By poking and sniffing in the thick, wet forest floor, the kiwi finds earthworms, insects, and berries to eat. The little hairs around its beak may look strange, but they help the kiwi feel its way in the dark. And if, as I'm reading this, your child becomes interested in one of the animals that is not pictured, that's a great opportunity to do some research online. There are amazing pictures. I think if only I had had this available to me when I was a kid. So here, let's read on some more about some other nocturnal creatures. Here's the next one. Are fireflies a kind of fly? No, fireflies or lightning bugs are small beetles. They fly together after sunset, each one producing a flashing light in its body. The fireflies make the light with certain chemicals in their bodies that mix together. Nothing burns to make the glow, so there's no heat. On a summer night, you can see the fireflies' yellow lights flickering over fields and lawns. By day, the fireflies are well hidden in the grass or weeds, or hanging motionless on the underside of leaves. Some people collect fireflies in glass jars, but the light the bugs produce is very dim, so don't count on a jar filled with fireflies to light your way. Why do fireflies glow? Well, to attract mates or prey. Each kind of firefly flashes its light off and on in a particular pattern. Since most female fireflies can't fly, they usually perch on the ground or in the bushes and wait. Sooner or later, a male hovers in the air around the female, flashing his special light signal. If the light signal is right, the female flashes back and the male flies over. Does the firefly's glow also invite enemies? No. Most firefly enemies, such as birds, frogs, lizards, and spiders, have learned that fireflies are best left alone. Fireflies contain a poison that can kill them. What are glowworms? Well, the glowing larvae of small fireflies and their close relatives. In time, most glowworms, which look like tiny worms, develop into adult female fireflies. One kind of glowworm lives in caves. Thousands of them group together. The light they make is bright enough to read by. And as I mentioned to you the other day when we were together, this is a great opportunity to have your children go back and listen to it again, since we don't have enough books to share, or I don't even know if you own this book. But you can have them share, what did they learn? What did they learn about the firefly? And if it's an open-ended question, which I would encourage, then they can tell you anything that they learned and they're being successful. And if they can't tell you anything, then maybe you can rewind this a little bit and say, let's see what we learned. You can stop it periodically and have them just share what facts they learned from this expository text. Here we have a flying squirrel. And as we listen, we'll find out if these squirrels can actually fly. Okay? Do nighttime flying squirrels really fly? No, they glide. Flying squirrels have extra flaps of skin along the sides of their bodies. As the squirrel leaps from a branch, it spreads out its limbs. Wings form, letting the squirrel glide through the air. The squirrel uses its bushy tail as a rudder to steer and keep its balance. Flying squirrels can reach speeds of about 10 miles an hour in the air. Wow, that's pretty fast. Why do flying squirrels glide? To keep safe. By gliding at night from tree to tree, the squirrel stays clear of enemies on the ground, such as snakes and weasels. Flying squirrels also escape attack by keen-sighted birds of prey, which usually hunt in the daytime. But being active at night has its own dangers. Many a squirrel misses a branch or crashes into a tree it doesn't see, and night-feeding owls can easily nab a flying squirrel in mid-flight. Where are flying squirrels when it's light outside? Asleep in hollow trees or abandoned woodpecker holes. The flying squirrels rest in nests lined with dry leaves, feathers, or fur, and shredded bark. Some flying squirrels live in the forests of Asia, Europe, and North America, where winters can get very cold. These squirrels sleep rolled into a ball, heads covered with their bushy, heavy tails. On cold days, entire families may huddle together in a single nest to keep warm. After reading this particular page, I might go ahead and look at a world map and show my child where these animals live, these creatures live. Now here we're going to start the next section, and I want to show you, because one of the things we want our kids to see is that we have our title and then we have our subtitles. That usually indicates that it is an expository text, and we want to make sure that they understand the importance and value of reading those subtitles. It gives them a focus on the next section of the reading and what they're going to be learning about. On land. Are cats night creatures? Yes. And if you own a cat, you already know that. Cats' favorite prey are mice, which mostly come out at night. When hunting in dim light, cats open their eyes as wide as possible. With pupils at full size, cats can see about 6 times better than you. Also, cats have a mirror-like tapetum behind each eye. The tapetum lets the cat see in almost complete darkness. Yet cats can also be pretty active during the day. As you know, cats enjoy basking in the warm sunshine. In the bright light, they half close their eyes to cut down the amount of light that enters. With their pupils closed to just narrow slits, a cat sees about as well as you see. What other senses help cats hunt in the dark? Hearing, smell, and touch. A cat's large, sensitive ears pick up all sounds from the lowest rustle to the highest squeal. A cat's sense of smell is so keen that a newborn kitten can find its mother by scent alone. The cat feels with its paws and with its long, stiff, and very sensitive whiskers, which are attached to nerves in its skin. The nerves send a message to the brain that tells the cat when it brushes against something, even if it can't see, hear, or smell it. What sounds do cats make? None when hunting. Cats are among the quietest of night creatures. When walking on padded feet or even jumping from a ledge, they don't make a sound. But when cats fight, that's another story. 2 cats screeching at each other at night sounds like crying babies or screaming people. During mating season, cats also make lots of noise. And if you have a cat, I'm sure you've heard it. Here we have a cat that I know we don't see here in our area, unless you live up close to the mountains. No, this is not a mountain lion. It's a regular lion. We have mountain lions here in our Franklin Mountains. Do lions hunt at night like house cats? Yes. Lions mostly rest by day and hunt by night. Their main prey are zebras, buffaloes, and antelopes, animals that can easily outrun them. Lions often hunt in groups. They stalk their prey much like the way cats stalk mice. When they get to within 100 feet of their target, they suddenly leap forward. They either grab a victim with their powerful jaws or slam it to the ground with their paws. Lions are not the mighty hunters you might think. They only kill about 1 out of every 4 animals they stalk, and they seldom hunt for more than 3 or 4 hours a night. Then it's back to resting. Not a bad life. Why do lions roar? Mostly to keep in touch with one another. Sometimes just one lion roars, other times several lions join in a chorus. Experts believe each lion's roar tells the others, "I'm here." This helps members of the pride or group stay together and scares away outsiders. In the wild, the roar usually starts with one or two softer moans. Then comes the full-throated roar, which you can hear up to 3 miles. Yeah, that's right, 3 miles away. The sound lasts about 30 seconds before it fades away to a series of hoarse grunts. Do leopards hunt like lions? No. Leopards hunt alone. For this reason, leopards usually go after smaller prey, such as baboons, warthogs, wild dogs, and the young of big animals. A leopard approaches its prey in an almost snake-like crawl, belly close to the ground. When it is within striking distance, the leopard leaps up and pounces, knocking the prey over. Quickly, the big cat buries its two long, sharp fangs in the victim's neck and begins to tear it apart. After eating its fill, the leopard often carries the leftovers up to a tree. Then it drapes itself and the leftovers over a branch and takes a nice, long rest. I'm going to go ahead and stop there because I noticed that I've been reading for about 16 minutes. And as I said, my main purpose of sharing this with you is so that you parents can see that you don't need to read the whole book. You can read a little section of it and then do activities. You can write down facts about these animals. They can do an illustration on one of the animals. You can Google other information on this creature, and they can do dioramas on the creatures, the night creatures. They can make a list of all the reasons that these animals are awake at night and not during the day. So there's a lot of facts that we learned just in these few pages, and so now we want to stop and take time to talk to our kids and enjoy them, and maybe they have some ideas on what they might like to do. Maybe they can act like one of these animals, act like a lion hunting for its prey and seeing how quiet they can pad on their hands and on their knees. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and I look forward to spending a few more minutes of your day tomorrow. Read some more on this text, and anyway, I hope that you are staying safe and are enjoying your children, enjoying your time together. Again, have a great day. Bye.